Let's play while sitting at home. We invite you to participate in the traveling game Qazaq Quest and test your knowledge about your favorite city, learn new facts, be surprised, and have a laugh. 12 cities of Kazakhstan and celebrities who agreed to complete the quest. Brave and smart travelers, how much patience, strength, and knowledge they need to stay in the game. 1 city, 2 chances for a clue. 3 tasks, 4 blitz questions, and 5 most beautiful places in each city. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go! Last time we visited Taraz, one of the most ancient places in our country, the city where the Khans Jibek and Joly founded the Kazakh Khanate. As you remember, we visited the Akhirtas Palace Complex, the Takturmaz, Karakan and Ayshabibi mausoleums, and other cultural and historical monuments. What's waiting for us next? Let's see. Hello, this is Qazaq Quest. My name is Aidyn. I am glad to welcome you again to our program, and as you may have guessed, I passed to the next round and am ready to solve the next task. And today we will visit one of the largest cities in Kazakhstan, Shymkent. And we will not just visit, but also get acquainted with the cultural and historical sites of the metropolis. We will also find out why it was chosen as the cultural capital of the CIS in 2020. Well, friends, we continue our journey. On the way to Shymkent, we will have a short stop, and all because we simply cannot miss the whole collection of historical mausoleums. This is a historical corner, one of the most unique places to see in Sayram. Where else can you find such a cluster of ancient mausoleums, which are 700 years old or older? The complex of mausoleums includes several large structures. These are the mausoleum of Karashash Ana, Bodbayata, Mirali Bab, Kazi Bauzai, Kojasarimi, Maryam Ana, Abdelaziz Bab, etc. Today, this is a place of pilgrimage. People from different parts of the country come in search of answers. 1 or 2 legends are associated with almost every mausoleum. For example, Karashash Ana was either a daughter or a sister of a famous sheikh who could heal people. During her life, she did many good deeds, which earned her the boundless gratitude from people. And it was even said that a lock of her hair was tied to the dome of the mausoleum. A similar legend is associated with Maryam Ana. In her youth, she had a prophetic dream in which the holy woman of the land, Gaukar Ana, predicted that in the future, Maryam will be the keeper of goodness and mercy. And the prediction came true. All her life, Maryam Ana helped people, healed them, and taught women about the importance of prayers. Well, we continue our journey. Ahead of us is the city of Shymkent. Shymkent is mentioned in the Book of Victories during Tamerlane's victory campaigns in the 15th century. Today, scientists still argue about how old the city is, but nevertheless agree that it is at least 2,000 years old. Due to the fact that many historical military events took place in Shymkent, it is considered a city of hostilities. In the 19th century, 2 Khanates, Kokand and Bukhara, fought for this fortress city. And by the middle of the 19th century, the Russian Empire began its colonial policy into Central Asia. So, we finally arrived in Shymkent. the third most populous city that has the status of Republican significance. Behind us is the railway station, which is one of the oldest objects in Shymkent. The history of the station began back in 1914 when the construction of the Jatisu road from the Aris station started. With the construction of the station and the opening of Shymkent station, this area gradually expanded. The creation of single-track lines, Shymkent, Lugavaya, Pishpek in 1924, played a huge role in the economic growth of the southern region. In addition to the railway station, there is an international airport in Shymkent, which receives flights from countries of the near and far abroad. The airport has convenient infrastructure, has 2 boarding gates, 22 aircraft stands. Also, modern high-intensity LED lights are installed at the airport. The history of the airport began in the last century. On March the 28th, 1932, an agricultural air base was opened near Shymkent. By the 1940s, there were already constant passenger traffic on it, and during the Second World War, most of the aircraft was transferred to hot spots. In 1963, the airport was opened in a new location, and after 2 years, regular flights were made to large cities such as Moscow, Sochi, and Almaty. We go to a meeting with our guide. So far, the most memorable thing for me has been the visit to the mausoleums. Let's see what other interesting things I will see today. With the advent of Soviet power, the industrial sector began to actively develop in Shymkent. The city began to grow. More and more educational institutions, cultural monuments, and scientific institutions began to open. Today, Shymkent is one of the numerous and multinational cities in the country. There are 19 cultural national centers in it, as well as theaters, galleries, philharmonic societies, and museums. There are 3 large cinemas and modern shopping and entertainment centers. The city is rich not only in cultural sites, but also in national recreation areas such as alleys, squares, zoo, and dendra parks. Many old buildings, monuments, and sites have been preserved in the city. As for tourism, this is one of the dynamically developing areas that allows guests of the city to get acquainted with the history of the region, as well as enjoy fishing, hunting, and camping. We are next to the monument to the victims of the liquidation of the accident at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. There are several of such monuments throughout Kazakhstan. One is located in Nur-Sultan, Almaty, and in Aktau. I can already see our guide. Nur-Sultan, hello. Hello, Aidyn. How is your trip going? Is everything good? All is well. On the way, we visited the mausoleums, prayed, got acquainted with the history of the region. And this is just the beginning. You will see many interesting things ahead. I'll take your word for it. Then I propose to listen to the first task. Then let's go look for the answer. Let's go. Nur-Sultan Aripkanali, host and entertainer. He graduated from school number 65, named after Altınsari. At the moment, he works in the House of Culture of Shymkent. He repeatedly became a participant and winner of city, regional, and republican contests and festivals.
Listen carefully. Task number 1. Find the place where you can hear children's laughter, and the first word pronounced there was cook-a-doodle-doo. The task has been issued.
What a riddle! Cook-a-doodle-doo! Wow! The first thing that comes to mind is some kind of farm, but our program is about culture. Besides, there is also children's laughter. Any thoughts? Tell us, what cultural places do you have? In fact, there are a lot of such places, and you won't even immediately understand which one you need. Let's sort things out. What kind of theaters do you have? There is a Russian drama theater, puppet theater, and the theater of satire and humor. There is an Uzbek theater, a Kazakh drama theater, and an opera and ballet theater. Wow! We certainly won't be able to pay a visit to all of them, but I think that most likely 2 or 3 are connected with our riddle. So which is the closest? The theater of satire and the puppet theater. Theater of satire and humor. Well, there should be a lot of laughter. Let's go there. Let's go. Indeed, if there was an opportunity, we would have visited all the theaters of the city. The history of the theater dates back to 1929, when performances was staged in the city on socially significant and political themes, such as the Red Army, historical revolutionary movement, class struggle, etc. The theater was officially formed in 1944. Later, however, it was moved to Ural. The theater was formed for the second time already in 1958, and in 1967 it was divided into Russian and Kazakh drama theaters. The Kazakh drama theater was named after Jumad Shanin in 1972. In 2003, the Uzbek drama theater was opened to preserve the cultural language of ethnic Uzbeks. The regional opera and ballet theater became the youngest. It was opened in 2007, and for all the time of its existence, it has staged works from both Kazakh and world classics. What other attractions do you have? Where should you go if you are in the city for the first time? Our city is called green for a reason. We have a lot of picturesque parks. For example, now we're close to the Independence Park. I traveled a lot in cities, and almost everywhere there is such a place, a park or a square of independence. This is probably the most popular name, that's for sure. Do you want to see the monument Altyn Shaniraq? Of course! I have my phone ready for new photos. Can you take a picture of me? Sure, just take a good one. Oh, it turned out great. Good, then let's go. We are already approaching the Central Park, on the territory of which there is the City Theater of Satire and Humor, as well as the School Children's Palace. Do you know what I like about your city? The abundance of squares and parks. I'm not even sure if you can go through them at once. That's true. By the way, I forgot to tell you, we also have a Dendra Park and a zoo. If possible, make sure to go there as well. I'll remember and will definitely visit these places. The Theater of Satire and Humor was created in 2008 based on the theatrical core of Shanshar. The theater has repeatedly become a laureate of various city and international competitions. One of the last performances was the poetic drama My Heart, What Do You Feel? We are already near the theater. Before answering the question of the Kazakh quest, I want to carefully examine everything here. I think you will like the theater. Hello! Hello and welcome! The building you just entered is the Theater of Humor and Satire of the city of Shymkent. I am the artistic director of this theater. My name is Maksat Ayjanuli. We are also glad to meet you. It's the Kazakh Quest program. My name is Aidyn. Tell us briefly about your theater. I don't know how brief I can be talking about it, because as of today our theater is opening its 13th season. Great! You're now witnessing this historical fact. This theater of satire in Shymkent became one of the first theaters to gain the status of the State Theater of the Republic of Kazakhstan. The satirical and humor theater Shanshar was opened at the initiative of the actors of this theater, Walibek Abdraimov and Jusip Akshura. They are also the founders of this theater.
Walibek ағамыздың, Jusip ағамыздың, ағаларымыздың инициативасымен ашылған алғашқы іргетасын қалаушыларды сол кісі.
And today the theater is headed by Amir Kulov Bagdaulet. Well, I'm in charge of the creative part.
Шығармашылыққа жауапты лауазым иесі, жаңа өзімді таныстырып өттім, ол мен.
As I said earlier, our theater is a one of a kind in the satire genre. Is there a difference? The difference is that our theater focuses on performances of domestic drama as well as the world authors. In addition to this, we stage interludes, decorating them with musical accompaniment. Our theater puts on thematic stage performances as well.
Бимен көркемделіп, музыкаменен көркемделіп, кәдімгі бір мақсатқа, белгілі бір мақсатқа, белгілі бір тақырыпқа жұмыс жасайтын сазды, думанды қойылымдарды да сахналайтын театр.
Great! Maksat, thank you very much. Personally, I have learned a lot about your theater. I want to wish you creative success. May your repertoire have a lot of bright performances. I hope the audience will be very happy with them. Thank you very much. Good luck. Goodbye. And come again. Wow, the actors are really funny here, but I'm honestly still not sure. It seems to me that the audience here is still more mature, and the task was about children's laughter. Let's see this second theater. Why not? What is the name of this park? This is the Kandbab Ethno Park. It was opened on the site of an old pioneer camp and itself was founded at the end of the 19th century. Wow, I think that this park is especially loved by children because there are so many attractions. And on its territory, there is a puppet theater. Children's laughter all over the place, isn't it? I guess so. But I'm haunted by the second part of the cock-a-doodle-doo puzzle. Maybe there is some kind of object or structure with a rooster. Let's check. The theater was opened on August 19, 1983. The opening of the Children's Theater was initiated by Asanali Ashimov. The first staging was the play Cock-a-doodle-doo by Landau. The theater took part in the second International Puppet Festival of Kazakhstan, where famous world theater troupes performed. Subsequently, it became the prize winner of festivals and competitions many times. Today, it is one of the few theaters that puts on productions in 2 languages. In 2018, it celebrated its 35th anniversary. In the theater, we have staged about 150 productions of Soviet and foreign classic playwrights.
Классик драматургтерінің қойылымдары қойылады. Жалпы 150-ге жуық қойылым бар.
There are 96 seats in the hall of our theater. Below, we have 44 offices for preparatory work. It is worth noting that our theater is under state control.
Фундамент деген жоқ, ондай жоқ. Шойын тастан құрылған мемлекеттік қарауындағы объект, қорғаудағы объект болып саналады. Бұл енді ілгеріде.
As far as I know, this building used to be the St. Nicholas Church. Then, during the Soviet era, the domes were removed and it became a place of the Palace of Pioneers. And today, this building is home to a children's theater. The name of the theater has changed several times. Initially, it was Shymkent City Puppet and Young Spectator Theater, after which it was renamed the Regional Puppet Theater. When Turkestan region separated in 2018, they had their own theater. Shymkent, on the other hand, acquired the status of a megalopolis, which ranks 3rd among large cities in Kazakhstan. Due to these events, we were able to return our previous name. Then, 10-15 years ago, it became the Regional Puppet Theater. Now we have returned the previous name. Thanks for sharing the story. Goodbye. Thank you. Stay healthy. Friends, since we visited the Puppet Theater, it is imperative that we introduce you to the puppets. And the deputy director of this theater, Rashida, can thoroughly tell us about them. Hello, Rashida. Hello. You are on the 3rd floor of the Young Spectator and Puppet Theater. There is a costume workshop where costumes as well as about 800 dolls have been made since 1983. Among them are the dolls made for the children's play Layla and Majnun of 2018.
Оның ішінде қазіргі жаңағы жастарға арналған Ләйла мен Мәжнүн және де тағы басқа қойылымдарға арналған біздің қуыршақтарымыз бар.
This is our machine shop. The main artist is Olga Kravchenko. She has been working here since 1983.
1983 жылдан бері осы жерде жұмыс істеп келе жатыр.
What is she working on now? Now she's getting ready for the next performance, creating the image of a new doll.
Қуыршақты сомдап жатыр қазір.
This is our machine shop. Our design engineer is Andrei Troinovsky. You can watch how the dolls are constructed, how the doll's head moves.
Қуыршақтар қалай істелінеді? Енді осы жерде қалай істелінеді туралы сіздер көрсеңіздер болады. Қалай басы жасалынады? Бұның құрылымы.
If I understand correctly, the dolls are stuffed with cotton wool inside, right? And then the outside is sheathed with fabric. Cotton wool is not used here. This is all mechanics, thanks to which the doll's eyes open and close. That is, the eyes must be mobile. This is what our Andrei Nikolaevich does. How long has he been working for you? He has been working here since 1985. And here is a shem shop. Akmaral is in charge of this workshop. She is also preparing for the next production. The play is called A Kitten Called Wolf. The protagonist of the production is the kitten. Therefore, the shop manager is preparing a doll kitten and other props.
Сондықтан да осы кісі жаңағы цех меңгерушісі осы мысықта және тағы да басқа нәрселер жасалуда. Бұл екі бөлмеден тұрады бутафор цехы.
The prop shop consists of 2 rooms. We now have a lot of extensive work. Our specialists make benches for performances, which usually stand in parks, you know. Yes, chairs. Those chairs are made for those characters on purpose, right here. What are the names of the masters? These are artists props Talgat Sarikbayev and Begim by Muradov. Well, having learned more about the theater, I am now sure that I have found the very place I needed. Let's check it now. Okay, now. The answer to the first question. Puppet theater is the place where you can hear the laughter of children, and Cook-a-Doodle-Doo was the first performance.
Congratulations. This is the correct answer.
Hooray! Nur Sultan, thanks! Congratulations, Aidyn. Thank you. We have completed the first task. The second is next. I wonder what Kazakh Quest has prepared for us this time. Let's find out. Kazakh Quest, I am waiting for the second task.
Listen carefully. Task number 2. Find the center of the city with which all the significant cultural and historical events of this year are connected. The task has been issued.
This time the question is really difficult because there is not even a specific lead. You can't think of anything on an empty stomach. Let's stop by and have a bite to eat somewhere. I just happen to know one great place. Let's go then. So, after a short food break, we continue our journey. I received such an information from the Kazakh Quest. Now I will read it out. I looked in the directory. It turns out that there are several museums in Shymkent. Among them, the Hakim Abai Museum attracted my attention, and it just so happened that it is located not far from us. Let's find out more about it. Let's go. There are 6 historical and cultural museums in Shymkent. This is the Museum of Fine Arts, the Museum of Victims of Political Repression, the Museum of History and Local Lore, the Museum of Retro Cars, the Museum of Dinmukamed Konayev, and Hakim Abai Museum. On our way, we noticed an unusual retro garage. It displays unique and rare cars, among which there are cars from the Second World War. More than 26 cars are presented, which were assembled from all countries of the former Soviet Union. In general, it took 12 years to collect and restore them. Abai Park is another great place for the whole family. There is a stage for performances, benches, the National Tennis Center, a water park, as well as an alley of fame, where there are monuments to the warriors who died in the Afghan War and the obelisk to the veterans of the World War II. Hello. Welcome to the Hakim Abai Museum. Glad to meet you. My name is Aidyn. Kazakh Quest program. My name is Lilia. I'm the tour guide of the Hakim Abai Museum. Excellent. Tell us briefly about the museum. What year was it opened? The main direction of the museum is the personality of Abai. The Hakim Abai Museum was opened on the initiative of the former Hakim of South Kazakhstan region, Askar Mirzakhmetov, on September the 22nd, 2009. How many rooms do you have? There are 3 rooms here. These are Abai's Life, Abai's Creativity, and Abai's Hall. This is the Hall of Abai's Life, right? Yes, this is the Hall of Abai's Life. And to what hall will we go next? The Hall of his early works. Let's go. This hall is dedicated to the work of Abai. This is the view of Abai's workplace in Semey. And this hall is the Hall of Abai Researchers. The first one who wrote about him was Mukhtar Awazov. We can say that Mukhtar Awazov, having written the epic The Path of Abai, made Abai Kunanbayuli famous all over the world. Mukhtar Awazov and Abai Kunanbayuli are inseparable. You want to say without Abai there is no Mukhtar, without Mukhtar there can be no Abai. Great. Thank you for finding time for us. We have learned interesting information about your museum. Bye. Goodbye. The museum was opened in 2009 and is dedicated to the Kazakh educator Abai Kunanbayuli. It contains valuable manuscripts, photographs, archival documents, and much more. In 2020, many thematic events were held on the territory of the museum, both offline and online. So I think we are where we need to be. 2020 is the year of the 175th anniversary of Abai, and where else than in the Hakim Abai Museum, which is located in the Park of Abai, can there be a clue? Let's check it. Just a second. The answer to the second question is the Hakim Abai Museum.
This is the correct answer. Congratulations.
Hooray! Congratulations, Aidyn. Thank you, Nursultan. Well, the second task is completed. It's time to say goodbye to our wonderful guide and listen to task number 3. Well, Nursultan, thank you very much. You helped me a lot. Bye. Good luck to you. Thanks. Kazakh Quest, I am waiting for the third task.
Listen carefully. Task number 3. The artist nature painted the canvas with a brush. And then there were trees and lakes, rare herbs and plants. He was able to create a paradise that people from different countries aspire to see. The task has been issued.
So, I got the final third task. So far, everything was pretty easy to guess. I hope it will continue to be the same for me. To be honest, I don't know what kind of tourist spots in the city are associated with artists. I think it's time to do a little survey among the residents. Tell me, tourists coming to Shymkent, where do they mostly go? For example, I just arrived in the city. What places should I visit? I would suggest that you visit the Arboretum. Yeah, Arboretum, and also museums. There are very good museums in Shymkent. For example, Kanayev Museum and the Museum of Local Lore, where you can get acquainted with many exhibits. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Bye-bye. I have just arrived in Shymkent. This is the Kazakh Quest program, Kazakh TV channel. My name is Aidyn. Could you help me? Where can you go for a walk in Shymkent? What beautiful places do you have? Where would you recommend to go? We have Jibek. You mean the Jibek monument, right? And there is also the Central Park. Central Park. What else? Many parks. Also Kenbab. Kenbab. What else? And also the Republic Park. That is, you recommend visiting the parks, right? Yes, a lot of people go there to rest. What is your name? Galim. Galim, thank you very much. Have a nice day. So there is an art museum not far from here. I think it is worth looking into it, because I haven't heard anything about other places associated with artists. First, in 2009, an art gallery was created, and already in 2015, the Museum of Fine Arts was opened on its basis. At first, it was a branch of the Turkestan Regional Museum of Local Lore, but later it became an independent institution. Today, there are 4 halls, and the exposition contains more than 2,000 works by both local artists and Russian and Western European authors of the 19th and 20th centuries, including paintings by Shishkin, Levitan, Kaufman, Ismailova, Ayvazovsky, Safronov, and others. These works were transferred to the museum from private collections. Quite often, exhibitions of museums of neighboring countries are held within the walls of the museum. Artists from the CIS and Europe are exhibited as well. International symposia and festivals are also held here. We have 2 halls. One exhibition is dedicated to the city of Shymkent. You yourself know that this year Shymkent was declared the cultural capital among the CIS countries. Therefore, we could not lose face and presented all the holidays, significant events associated with the city at the exhibition called Shymkent, a considerate city. We have specially equipped the halls, but there are not very many visitors, although they show a keen interest. I wish your museum prosperity. Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye. Good luck. Thank you. This is truly a temple of art. And look at these pictures. How many artists have painted truly magnificent landscapes? I think I have found the solution. Now, this is the Art Museum.
This is the wrong answer. Think carefully. You don't always have to read the task literally.
Well, but I was so sure. Shouldn't you take it literally? What was the nature artist? Nature. Maybe this place is not a gallery, but some kind of park. Arboretum and zoo. I think a new theory needs to be tested. On the way to the park, we saw this central stadium, which is named after the wrestler Kazhimukan Munaipasov. Nearby, there is also a sports complex for athletics, a football field, and the central water sports complex. And we are approaching the Arboretum. There is also a memorial complex Kazirat nearby. Can't stop admiring the beauty here. This is a very picturesque park with hiking, horse and bicycle paths, where you can relax with the whole family, have a picnic and photo sessions. Tourists should definitely see it, otherwise there is no point of going to Shymkent. The Arboretum was opened in 1979. The area covers 120.52 hectares. The park is home to more than 600 plant species collected from different parts of the world. One of the uniquenesses is that it was in the Shymkent Arboretum that for the first time in the world, an experiment was carried out to transplant large trees in arid climate. The zoo was founded in 1980 and contains over 29 species of various animals, many of which are listed in the Red Book. On the territory of the park there is Lake Joly and a hippodrome, and next to it there is the ethno-historical complex Kazina with a Turkestan regional history and local history museum. So I look at all this beauty and begin to understand what was meant by the phrase, "The artist nature brushed the canvas with a brush," and here trees and lakes, rare herbs and plants appeared. After all, nature is the best artist that we will never be able to surpass. I have solved the task. The answer is Shymkent Zoo.
Well done. You have completed all 3 tasks. Congratulations.
Hooray! Well, friends, my journey in this wonderful and picturesque city is over. We were able to visit so many unusual and unique museums, parks and theaters, as well as learn about the history of the region from a variety of people. I wish you to visit this city for sure, lay your own unique route, and take the warmest and most vivid memories of Shymkent back with you.